Hey there, everyone. Just let me get comfortable. Hey there, everyone. It's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Placing. Hi. I hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, whatever you've got going on. I hope you're having a good one. Yeah, I am on the road, as you can tell, and this is just kind of part one of oh, this Tesla's for sale. Interesting. I'm sure that's going to be a pretty penny. There's a Tesla for sale. I'm interested in looking into upgrading, but I want an all-wheel drive. Are those all-wheel drive? I don't know. Anyway, it's time for a little blog. I'm doing a little intro to a blog, or a first clip. At the time of filming this is the day before Thanksgiving, Wednesday. I just got done with work a little bit ago, and I'm midweek into my series of Diamond Art Club lives, countdown, Black Friday countdown live streams. Tonight will be my second one on my channel, and then at the time of filming this, there still will be one more. It's already in the past. But Mary from Mary Making Crafts, she's going to tackle that one solo because I've got dinner with family. My friends also want me to swing by and hang out with them a little bit. And they've been asking me pretty much all week, like, hey, let's go get a drink. Hey, let's go get dinner. Hey, do you want to hang out? And every night this week I've been having to say no because I'm streaming or I'm doing my live. So I just need, Thursday is my... or, you know, today, at the time of filming, this will be my cutoff. Just because I want to hang out with family and friends. I've been kind of locked up doing lives, and it's been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. I thought we were just gonna get in, get out, like boom, boom, boom. Here's the kits. Let's do some giveaways. We'll be done in less than an hour. Each of them has been so far about 2 hours, and so I also have Apollo, who needs some love and attention, and he's definitely been feeling it, like, oh, he's, 2 hours straight without giving him loves or playing with him. Because usually when I'm diamond painting, even if I'm diamond painting for a couple of hours, I stop every 10-15 minutes. We throw the ball around, I let him out, we get a treat, all that stuff. So it's been interesting, and it's been kind of an eye-opener for like what doing live streams on my channel might look like long term. Obviously I wouldn't be doing them every day, or even every other day, but it still is a lot of time investment, especially if you've got, a small dog who needs a lot of love and hugs and kisses and just a lot of, stuff going on, friends, that type of thing. So I don't know, I thought I'd get on and do this clip because, like I said, at the time of filming this will be a week, you'll be a week in the future. I don't think I'm going to be recording anything tomorrow on Thanksgiving, and then I will be filming for some stuff on Friday. I just don't know if I'm going to be filming anything for my regular vlogs. I think I might try to do some filming for the Christmas premiere series that's going to be next month. I think I'm going to try to do that this coming weekend, if not the following. I haven't decided. So that's why I wanted to film this, just in case I don't have anything else to provide during, through the weekend, and this is really all I've got. But we're taking Apollo to the dog park so he can get some energies out, because yesterday he was really fired up. And he starts to get really fired up, like right around like 6-7 o'clock. And so I tried taking him on a long walk. I tried, letting him get some energy out. But right before the live, he was jumping on me and nipping at me. And I'm like, sir, you have to chill out. Like, it's time to calm down. So I ended up just giving in, and he got a bone just to keep him calm. And that usually keeps him busy for about an hour and a half. And then the last 20-30 minutes of these live streams, he's been like, I need to like actively pet him as we're talking, because he's like, enough, let's do stuff. You have a child over here. So tonight is once again, this has already happened, but tonight is my night on my channel. And since we only have 20 kits, when my first video that went up, I did 40. We reviewed 40 kits because it was 2 days worth. But since it's just the 20 kits, I'm gonna try to move it pretty quickly. I'm gonna try to keep us in line. I'd like to keep it under an hour. I just feel bad for Apollo. And then I just, I can tell my friends are like, okay, well, you've been going live like every day this week. So I need to, yeah, I don't know if, it's been a blast. I really enjoy doing it. But next, if we do this again, or I do this again next year, I would probably say, let's just, like, I don't even know. I would almost rather have 2 days total where we do, like, let's say they did 100 kits again, where we did like 50 kits each day, or one day do 60 and one day do 40 or something like that, and just have them in bigger chunks, because I don't know how we only talked about 20 kits for the live that we did on Mary's channel, but I think we went even longer, or the same amount of time, but we only had half the stuff to talk about. And I just, like I said, I have to be cognizant that I've got like an animal and friends and family and stuff that I need to spend time with. So, and it's also, that's time that I'm usually diamond painting. So now I've got this stress of like being behind on my kits that my kit that I wanted to have done. So it's just like, I don't know. I like it, but it's the first time I've ever experienced going live. And so now I'm like, I see, this is quite the investment of time. So people that go live a lot, like, you are awesome. And thank you so much for giving, your time and energy to the community like that. It's something I definitely want to do in the future myself. But after this week, even just these 2 days of doing it, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do like one live a month, or like once every other week, because it is quite a bit. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure how I want to approach it when I start doing it regularly on my channel. One thing that I am going to start doing, or one thing that I will be doing, is I really like the idea of premieres. So I want to have some small business owners, some crafters that have been, or diamond painters that have been in the community for a while. I want to prepare some like interview style questions to talk about their business or how they got into crafting, like the stuff that you normally talk about, but do it just one-on-one, that content creator, that business owner, or whatever, and I. So it's a little bit more casual. We're not, having to cut in with responding to the live chat and stuff. Being able just to have like a sit down, like an honest kind of interview style to learn more about their business and how they got to where they are, what they're looking forward to having in the future on their shops and all of that stuff. I think that would be really interesting to kind of get a peek behind the curtain. But I think it might be a little bit more difficult to get everything covered if we're being like, oh, this person said this person has this question, this person wants to know where their order is, like, I want to kind of give the shop owner or the content creator, whoever it is, I want to give them that kind of like breathing room a little bit, so we can just have like a more candid conversation. Maybe include, candid, but still maybe have some structure so they know which questions to prep, so they can kind of tell their story. And I think I would kind of have it like a series, like, sit downs with single and placing or something like that. And I might even do those for a while before I start going live. I don't know. Like I said, I'm having a lot of fun on these lives. It's just, I don't know. It's leaving me feeling very just kind of like, and I think the other piece of it is, I work as a recruiter. I work at talent acquisition and human resources. And this has definitely been a particularly busy, intense week for us, where I'm spending a lot more time than I normally am on the phone, doing a lot of chats, interacting with hiring managers, getting candidates squared away. and that drains a lot of my social energy. So when I get done with work and all I've been doing is just kind of like coordinating, understanding what my hiring manager's needs are, calibrating their job postings, reaching out via LinkedIn, all of that, a lot of social engagement. And then I get off work and I've got just a few hours, and then I have to be like, it's time to get back on, So I think that's also left me like feeling a little bit like I was talking to Mary on our Tuesday one, and I was just like, I'm just like, I feel zapped, and yet we've got to like, let's get the energy going. So I'm like pounding cold brew, and it ended up being fine, and it'll be fine tonight. And even if I was to join her on Thursday, or like I said, tomorrow, as at the time of filming this, I'm sure it would be just fine. But yeah, I think I signed up for more than I think that my social battery can handle. Like, I've overextended that. And so, I don't know. I see people seem to be really enjoying them, and I'm so happy, but I wanted to get on and provide this clip as like a little bit of like behind the scenes of, what it takes, if you're a new content creator and maybe you aren't naturally that in front of the camera, keep that energy up, keep that excitement up. If that's not your default, then this is work. It's work to make that happen. So I just wanted to kind of share that. I can definitely get a party going. I like social engagement. I like, group settings, but I have the best way to describe it is like I have a battery that burns. It goes intense but fast. Like, I can give a lot, but I'm not like a good like marathon sustainable, like, all right, like even with family and friends, if I am doing like a week-long trip or a 3 or 4 day trip, I do have to kind of create space for myself in those group settings. Like, for instance, we usually go on some sort of rock climbing or hiking or trip to Moab or whatever once a year. And those are usually 4-day trips, sometimes 3 days, but mostly 4 days. And there is times where I'm like, I'm just going to go on a little hike by myself. You guys have fun. Or I'm going to go walk around town or something. I'll be back in a little bit. And people are like, oh, do you want me to come with you? No, it's okay. I'm just going to put a podcast on. And I need that moment just to kind of like regroup and reset and recharge. And I just haven't really had that this week. Like, after I get done with these lives, they go for 2 hours. It's time for bed. It's time to start getting Apollo ready to go to bed, or we're going on our last walk before bed. And then I'm up and back at it and back to work and back on the phones again. So I think in retrospect, I would probably only want to do like 1, maybe 2 days of this, as opposed to the 3 that we will be doing, with a day off in between, as opposed to back to back to back to back. So I don't know. I hope that, and if Mary's watching this and she's like, well, geez, and it's like, no, it has nothing to do with any one person. Or if you're watching, like, I had fun, it sounds like he didn't have fun. Now, that's not the case. I'm loving it. But like, I think it's just normal for people to need that time to kind of recharge. So I think I personally I signed up for a little bit more than I think I can handle. So we'll see how tonight goes, but I've been writing down some topics because I'm like, I don't want to come off as feeling tired or feeling drained. So I'm like, at least have some topics, that way you can keep yourself like up and going. And when we get on our way back from the dog park, I'm going to stop and get some coffee or a Red Bull or something, just to make sure that I'm ready to rock and roll. But I don't know how people who do like in front of crowds, in front of groups, keep that energy and that positivity and that like bringing everybody else up to their level. I don't know how people do it like as their job or all that stuff, because I just find myself feeling very depleted afterwards. So I don't know. That's probably why I call myself an extroverted introvert. Like, I'll have my moments where I want to be social and have a group around me, but then I need that reset. And I feel like as I'm getting older, I need more reset time in between. I can't sustain it for as long as I used to. So I don't know. It's very interesting. It's really helping me learn a little bit more about myself and like what my needs are, and just understanding that just because I want to sign up for everything or an idea sounds great and like more when it comes to content creation, like I have to create a little bit of balance. And I'm finding that like the thing that I love about this is like the decompression piece of just the crafting and doing the diamond painting and just having my headphones in and zoning out. You start to lose the opportunities for that because it starts to be really focused on like you only have a finite amount of time in a day, and you still need to film your time lapses. You still need to get the WIP Chats done and the vlogs done and the unboxings done and potential partnerships and maybe talking about events. Like all of that needs to happen. But then if you're doing a 2-hour live, it's not like I can be like, all right, I'm going to do this live, but in the background I'm going to be doing some editing. Well, I don't know, I guess people do that on Twitch. Look at this lighting. Hello. But I've just found like I get done. So like on Monday when we finished with the live on my channel, or that last Monday as you're watching this, I was like, okay, well, I'll sit down and get some diamond painting done. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, Anthony, set up the camera. You probably want to do a time lapse of this. I'm like, I don't feel no more camera, no more filming. And then I'm like, oh, you promised this shop owner that you would do this, and not anything, not any secretive things I'm doing. I've decided, or not that I've decided either. I don't know what to call it. I've been reaching out to shop owners whose kits that I'm working on or I've been purchasing. I'm just like, hey, would you mind, or would this be of any benefit for you if I took some photos of the canvas, just like I normally do, but share them to a Google Drive? That way, if you want to use them on your shop page or on your website, or maybe somewhere down the road, it would be nice to have a progress picture of XYZ kit. I can just pop them as I'm uploading them to use on my content. I'll just pop them on a shared drive. It's, use them as you wish. I have no qualms with that. So I've been talking with Jade, and I was just like, I don't know, maybe shops would take some benefit. Maybe shops will never use them because they're not like professional photos, but it doesn't hurt, at least in my head, from a marketing standpoint, to have some customer pictures and stuff to throw on Instagram when you're in a bind for content or whatever. So I've been creating those, and so I'm like, stop, take a picture, add it to that, and it's just like I keep adding these little incremental things, and then before you know it, I'm like, I could see myself making a full transition into content creation around diamond painting, but without even diamond painting. It doesn't sound like it'd be possible, but I feel like I'm like inching my way there, where it's like I'm just like the hype man. Let's talk about these kits. Let's talk about these products. Let me tell you a little bit of my experience working on 1 or 2 sections, but I won't ever have any finishes. That's not what I'm here to do. It's more just about like presenting products and vlogs. And I don't know, I was thinking about it the other day where I'm like, is there a space for something like that within the community where I am just like on as many lives, guesting as much as possible. I'm doing my own lives, introducing different brands and products, highlighting shops, all of this stuff around the craft, but I don't do it myself. But I really like it. I'm like, I could see myself doing that, like basically just being kind of like a like, I don't know, like a promoter of the craft, but through highlighting everybody else and not actually doing it myself, because I feel like I'm starting to put myself, like I'm pushing myself more and more in that direction where it's like, I want to start hosting events. I want to start highlighting small businesses and other really awesome creators. I want to be able to collaborate with more brands in a deeper, more meaningful level, and all of that is time. But I feel like if people are still consuming that content on my channel of me doing vlogs and interviews and spotlights and event series and those series like I did with Composición Monumental, like I could do all of that stuff and maybe get a kit or two done in a year, you know? So I'm just like, it's this weird balance for me right now where it's like, I think I could really make something unique and like carve a niche. I'm so sorry about that light behind us. Carve a niche for myself within diamond painting. And I could even see it involving me doing the actual like craft a lot less because there's a lot of other stuff that's going to go into it. So I don't know. It's an interesting concept, and I'm going to keep moving in a direction that makes me happy, and engagement and working with others really makes me happy. But I also have to remember, like, the reason that I got into this is because I find it very soothing and calming and relaxing, and I know that's why a lot of people do it. And it's kind of anxiety relief, mental health improvement, all those things. And I'm in that boat too, so I need to still carve out a little bit of time to try to make that happen, or do the best I can to incorporate that into the content. But it's hard, like, even doing the time lapses, you'd think that that's the perfect way, but I'm always thinking about move quickly, you don't have any awkward pauses in your time lapse, watch where the camera is, watch your head, is the tray right there, does the tray need to be there, can you do the tray off to the side so it's not getting in the way? Like, so when you're doing the stuff for content, your brain switches from a relaxing mode to a like creating a video mode, and it's different, it's a different mindset. Whereas I can do a time lapse for an hour and just be like thinking about all the different aspects of it and how is this going to look, and should I change the angle here, I think this will be fine, and then I turn the camera off and I take the little arm off and set it aside and I keep diamond painting, and then I start to like it's okay, it's gonna be fine, so I don't know, it's interesting, and I want to make sure that I'm having the space set aside to care for Apollo and do things like take him out on these little dog park runs and stuff. So it's just that balance as well. But I don't know. I'm hoping by the time that you see this, I will have at least put together some kind of 1,000 subscriber thank you. But that's also playing a factor in it too, because I want the channel to continue to grow. And if I can really make something out of this that, I'm getting, some kind of revenue off of it. I mean, I honestly, it's so weird to even talk about, but if that's really something that's tangible and could actually happen, then I do want to devote more time and intention and create some things that are a reflection of this being kind of like a little bit more bigger than just like, oh, it's just a hobby, I'm gonna throw some stuff up. Like, if I can transform this into something that I can utilize to, purchase additional diamond paintings to share with everyone, improve my like lighting and camera setup, if that's really the path that this is going to be churning towards, then I want my content and what I give back to improve in turn. I hope that makes sense. So, yeah, I see myself, like, let's say I didn't have a full-time job and I was just able to make this into what I envision or what I hope it could be. I would have a number of events, maybe based on eras, I came up with like an ocean event, but I was also thinking, wouldn't it be cool to each month do like and eras. And this is partly inspired by Taylor Swift. I don't listen to Taylor Swift necessarily. There's a couple songs, but I know she's doing that eras tour because Katie was freaking out about it. And I was like, what about eras events? Like we could do, January is, we could do like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, like just rotate them, once a month. Maybe some of them are a couple months because those old masters take longer. Like do eras. This is a recent idea. It just popped into my head not too long ago, but to do an eras. And so I, have these events going. I've got a whole lineup of small business owners, what I'd call like influential folks in the diamond painting world that have just been around for a while, and just hear their story and like how, just take a deeper, more intimate yet candid, yet structured vibe to an interview and do them as premieres. Continue doing my series focusing on particular artworks and artists and locales and all that stuff, but maybe put some more production into those. So like really have this like kind of curated world of content that is, yes, around diamond painting, but it's going to be more focused on, it's also focused on lifting up small business, exploration of culture. I don't know. I'm always throwing around ideas, but it's like, that's all well and good, but it takes time. Like that's an investment. And I don't know. We'll see. It would be cool to, and even working like part-time somewhere and then devoting, half of my, working day towards building this idea out that I have in my head. It'd be cool to at least try, but I don't know. I'm going to do the best I can with the time and energy and capacity that I have on hand today, and just try to continue to make some small tweaks and improvements. I think I can do a lot of this stuff without it completely, breaking me or me spreading myself too thin. I don't know. I have to see if maybe making some, not sacrifices, but maybe kind of reworking where I find the joy in this. And maybe I can find just as much joy and that sense of like achievement and accomplishment and satisfaction out of some of those other ideas than of just putting the diamonds on the canvas. Maybe my path in this community, this is so weird to talk about, but maybe my kind of path in this community is maybe less about the craft itself and more about everybody else that's in it. I don't know. Interesting conversation. But we that gave us about 30 minutes of content. I'll probably cut to us looking at the foothills like I always do when we go on these little walkabouts with Apollo. This might be a fairly quick one because it's starting to get dark, and I believe we've got some weather coming in. And if I can squeeze in any more clips here and there throughout the week, so we have it for this vlog, I will. Otherwise, of course, I will do a see you later, adios. You'll probably be getting some time lapses of a kit, and I'll talk about whatever that is at the end because I haven't quite decided what I want to work on for this particular vlog yet. There's a couple things, but with timing, and we could do a whole nother video of how I need to organize my content, and because it's all just sitting up here of like, this will get posted and then this over here on Instagram, but I have some ideas of how I'm going to fix this. So we'll talk about that. I think that'll be a good topic for newbies. So, all right, I'm going to let you go so I can let him out. We're going to run around for probably about 45 minutes or so until it gets dark. And then I'll see you on the next clip, which will either be after the time lapses and a goodbye, or if I can squeeze in some more chatting with you. I just want to make sure I have my ducks in a row. So, all right, thanks so much for watching this clip. Take a look at what we're working on kit-wise, nice little time lapse, some fun music, and I'll see you at the end, okay? Bye. Okay, just a quick clip of the foothills. I can't not hike over here and not show you. There's a lot of car traffic this time of day. But yeah, you can see the, yeah, I think we're gonna get some snow or something coming in. It's pretty overcasty, but yeah, there's Apollo peeing. You get a little look at that. But okay, so yeah, we're gonna give it a good 45 minutes or so, just until it gets dark, and then we'll head back. I think I'm gonna try to take a shower. Maybe that'll kind of boost up my energy and get like the biggest. I wonder if they make gallon-sized Red Bulls. I don't know, but maybe this walk will also kind of get some blood pumping. So it's definitely getting Apollo going. All right, we'll cut to the next clip. We'll see you. Bye. Okay, we are back with the gooseneck camera holder. So if you're a little bouncy, my apologies. It's suspended from my ring light. So the last clip, we were taking Apollo for a walk on Wednesday, and today is now Friday. It is Black Friday, in fact. So day after Thanksgiving, and yeah, I figured I'd just bring you here just to do a little bit of a WIP Chat just to kind of wrap up this vlog, or just as the part 2 of this vlog. And I am currently working on, I just started working on my very first section for jingle drills, as well as Winter with DAC. That event doesn't start till December 1st, but you can start with a previously started kit. You just have to have, I think it's like a quarter of a or less finished, or a quarter or less complete. I forget which one it is, but I will definitely be in that camp. I just started. This is Cozy Evening by Abraham Hunter, and this is a 96 by 70 centimeter square drill canvas. So yeah, I doubt by the 1st of December I'll have hit any sort of milestone that would disqualify me. This is going to be a big project. But I'm doing it for my aunt. She picked this kit out and decided, because I just asked her, I was like, I'd love to do a diamond painting for you. Just take a look at the Diamond Art Club site and let me know if you see anything. I gave her that site and then Distracted by Diamonds to pick from, and she landed on this canvas. So yeah, and it's perfect. It works out well because it is a winter themed kit. So it works for the events that I'm participating in too. So that's what I'm working on right now. I just finished Saved by the Flamingo. That is a kit from Lazy River Wood Churning, and I think the artist name is Tabitha Lozano. So I just finished that yesterday on Thanksgiving when I got home, and now I've got this going. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working on a big kit. I have a lot. I don't think, I think this might be, oh no, other than my Diamond Painting Deutschland, this might be the biggest kit that I've taken on. Even though I have a ton of them in my stash, I haven't really been working on them. So it'll be nice to get a larger canvas going and get a finish on a larger kit. So we've got that. As far as I'll quickly touch on the accessories. It's almost like we're starting a whole WIP Chat, which we kind of are. I'm going to try to keep the timing down, but we'll see. So I've got my pen from Norse Alchemist here. I've got my tray from Mooney Made. I've got a different pen from Norse Enabler's Outpost here. And then I've got Randa's Crafty Corner, I think. Yes, putty. This is the white, I think, white Tahitian woods in my single and my multi-placer. So that's what we're working with right now. I don't have any cover minders hanging out with me today. I should have grabbed one. And then the washi tape that I'm using is from Scotch. So this is just their like red. Oh, were you able to see any of that? Red glitter washi tape, Norse Alchemist pen, Mooney Made tray, Enabler's Outpost pen. I'm so sorry. I need to look at the camera when I'm doing that. And then we do have Apollo in the room. His tummy has been acting up. He's got some stomach issues. I tried to transition him to a new food, and I'm wondering if that's what's causing it, but he eats that food as a little treat here and there. It's just dog food, but I'll put it in a bag and take it on walks with us and use it as treats. So he's eaten it before, but not like a whole, cup of it at a time. So I'm thinking he's transitioning. I did blend it with his other food, but I don't think this is the food for him, to be honest. I don't even really like the look of it for some reason. It looks overly processed. It's a brand called Farmina that comes highly rated, and I actually got 2 bags of it for free from the pet store because they had been out of the one that he typically gets for so long. So they were like, oh, we've got this brand, Farmina, and they give us sample bags. Each of them are like 4 or 5 pound bags. They give us sample bags to give to people that have been waiting for XYZ competitor's brand, and essentially they're just trying to get people to switch over since this other company has been so been out of stock for so long. Or they keep saying they're in production, it'll be soon, and it's been, I think, almost 2 months now. So anyway, but I don't like the look of it. The ingredients are fine, they're not amazing, but they're not terrible. I know it's a premium high-end brand, so some people might, if you feed your dog, I'm not trying to say, oh, you're feeding your dog the wrong food. It's just, I don't know, I'm incredibly picky, and yeah, so that's all I can say. It's a fine food. It gets tons of high ratings. It's very good compared to, lots of other companies, but it's not good enough for my Apollo. But anyway, so why was I? Oh, so the reason I brought that up is he's been panting a little bit, I think just because he's not feeling well. So if you hear him doing that in the background or just kind of breathing heavy, he did it pretty much since early morning this morning. He was like on the bed and woke me up at like 3 a.m. He's like, just panting really heavily. I was like, what's wrong? I was like, oh no, he has to go potty. We don't want accidents in the house. So I raced him outside, and I've been having to do that a few times today. So he's got a little sensitive stomach, but we'll be okay. I think I might pull him back a little bit from that food, or just give him a less percentage. And he also has some probiotic mix that I add to his food when his stomach is upset. And then he also has these little pumpkin things that I give him too. So anyway, that's Apollo updates for you. So last when we left off, what's funny is I had to go back and rewatch that first clip before I started filming this, because it had been a couple days and quite a bit of stuff has happened. I don't know how much I want to get into it necessarily, but it was just, I found it very interesting, the stuff that I was talking about in that first video, and then what has transpired since then. I'm just like, you know what, maybe I can feel something in the air. The universe was trying to tell me that yes, your thought process is correct. Like what you want to do with your channel and how you want to kind of evolve is where you should pursue, and we're gonna give you a reason to even go more, to make that transition or kind of make a little bit of a change. Because, well, I guess I have to, anytime you bring up this type of stuff, you have to be really careful. I'm not here to upset anyone's feelings or offend anyone. And I know that some people might be like, keep that business to yourself. I don't know. We're not going to get into a lot of stuff by any means, but let's see. We're looking for 16. But yeah, when I was talking to you on Wednesday in the previous clip, it was the night of my last live, or for the Black Friday Diamond Art Club countdown kind of thing that me and Mary Making Crafts have been doing all week. So I did Monday, Wednesday, and she did Tuesday, Thursday. And so at the time of filming this, it's now Friday. So we're all wrapped up. It's all done. I did not do Thursday. I kind of let her know early on when we were planning this that I typically spend a lot of time with family and friends on Thanksgiving, which I did. I did not get home until pretty late. And then I was watching countdowns to the official countdown for Diamond Art Club's Black Friday release. And then I was working on my kit, so I didn't go to bed till pretty late. I'd say maybe 1:30, and then Apollo woke me up again around 3 or 4. But so all of that's to say, I went live that Wednesday after that last clip that you watched. I went live a couple hours after that. And it was still a ton of fun, But just like I was saying in that clip, it is a little bit more draining than maybe I guess I realized, because there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of moving parts to going live. And Mary was actually running a little bit late that night, so I did the first, I'd say like 45 minutes or so solo, and I knew that there was a potential that she was going to run late, and I was reassuring her all day. And then even when she was like, I seriously, I'm going to be late, I'm freaking out, and she was having computer troubles, I just made sure, to reassure her, like, it's not a problem. Like, we're each other's guests on each other's channels, and no one's gonna be that, at least, I know she wouldn't be with me, but that much of a stickler on like tardiness for a live. Like, it's supposed to be kind of casual and fun. And when I have a guest on my channel, even though she's been my very first one, but if and when I decide to try this again, my goal is to make sure that my guests, regardless of who they are, or if it's a shop owner or just another crafter or maybe an artist, I'd love to do an artist spotlight. That'd be really cool. If I ever have a guest on my channel in live, that they feel comfortable, they feel welcome, they feel that they're in a safe space, and we're just there to have a good time, and just have a lot of good energy and positivity around the time that we get to spend together. So that's kind of, with her, if she was running late, it's like, it's not a big deal. And I know she does take, this stuff seriously, and wants to make sure that she's timely and helping me to provide good content and engage with people that are watching. So I was like, it's okay. It's going to be fine. Just take a breath. You're going to be okay. But I really appreciated the scramble that she did to get on live, because it was a lot. We had on the better half of close to 200 people watching. And so it was a lot. Having that number, looking back at you, and you're just sitting there by yourself, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's talk about this now. It's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. I was literally shaking the majority of that live until Mary got on, and I felt like, okay, I have somebody that can keep an eye on chat too. I don't feel like I'm necessarily talking completely just, alone. And I get really scared because I feel like I don't look at chat as much as I need to, and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But I felt like I was a little bit behind, and I was missing a lot of things. And I also don't want the people, the folks that are watching, to feel left out or feel like I'm not engaging with them either. But it was just everything was moving really, really quick. But I did get a lot of little messages of you're doing a good job. It's okay. You're doing fine. Because I was like, okay, all right, let's look at this kit now. Oh God, oh God. And my mom was there. So that was just it was just a lot. It was a lot. So Mary ended up hopping on, and we finished out the rest of it going through the kits. Had a great time. We did some giveaways. Just kind of, it's just like two pals chatting about, do they like this kit? Do they not like this? And then we have everyone in chat to kind of provide their insight too. So it's just a really fun way to it was just flipping through a magazine with some friends and look at this. What do you think of this one? Is this cute? It's fun. It was a lot of fun. So all of that went well. In the moment, I thought it had gone really, really well. And then, let's see, I'm going to do some arrows here. We're doing number 8. And then it kind of turned in a different direction. So once again, like I said, it's very strange. I was talking about my hesitancy about going live and just not realizing how much it takes out of you before I did that live, and now after it, it's wow, Anthony, you're really talking to your future self there. So yeah, I don't know
any other way to like kind of say it, try to say things without saying things. Of course, I would never mention any names or anything like that. But there was, the bottom line is there was a little bit of bullying going on, I guess is the best way I'll put it, on on that live, and I wasn't aware of what was going on until some viewers or who were watching it, both in real time and then a couple folks that watched the replay tapped me on the shoulder and like, hey, did you notice this, while the chat was running? And basically just essentially they were asking me to do better, to pay closer attention to those types of things because it it doesn't look very kind, and it really, oh, I don't want to get emotional. It broke my heart a little bit, to be honest, because you know the exact thing that I want to create for guests and people that come on my lives, the opposite kind of happened, right under my nose, because I wasn't doing enough to moderate that. And I need to well, we'll get there, but I just didn't do enough, and I just I don't know. It's very I just feel disappointed. And I know that I'm new to this craft, so maybe I don't have the right to feel any kind of way, but I don't think, um, you know, I don't think there is no way to cut it where someone would say, "Oh no, I felt obligated or emboldened to treat this person poorly because they deserve it." Like, there's no situation in a rational and mature environment where that is something that's okay. So I believe I've addressed it how I need to address it, and I think everyone will move on and be okay. But I wanted to I wanted to speak on it because if other people did watch that and feel some kind of way, I wanted to acknowledge that yes, I did see it. I'm not blind to it, and I really do rely on all of you awesome folks to let me know if something that like that happens again where I don't catch something, or even in real time, feel free to, because I had my phone in front of me in real time, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or on Facebook Messenger and just be like, hey, this is going on. Because I have no qualms with pressing pause on the live and taking care of that situation in a respectful way, but immediately, because anyone that decides to join me either as a business or as a creator, you're welcome to hang out with me on those lives with open arms and feel that you're in a safe and respectful environment, and the people that are in chat are going to treat you with the utmost respect as well. So please don't worry. Please don't second guess engaging with me in any way. I don't want that to be a reflection of what, I just don't want anyone to think that I'm okay with that or I endorse that. Yeah, because it just is not the case. A couple things that I want to do to prevent stuff like that from happening in the future is I'm going to be a little bit more serious about looking at who is a mod on the live. Like, I was just throwing like everybody, people I knew, I was just add. But there's a couple folks in particular that I see mod a lot of lives, and they are so professional and just on the ball, just, incredible. So I kind of want to curate that list of mods and reach out to those folks directly and ask them, hey, can I give you my schedule for the month or the year of when I plan on needing an assist there? And if you can make it to any of those, great. Maybe even do like a live doc where they could, someone could just put their name down, like I've got you this day, and then I can work on filling in the gaps afterwards. I think that's how I'm going to do it. But I think the more and more I kind of churn it over, and just like I was saying in the previous clip, like this is so it was even on Mary's when there wasn't any issues or any problems, I still walked away from that feeling very just socially kind of zapped, and not in a negative way, but just socializing on top of my job, which is all socializing. It's a lot. So then after Wednesday to have that, like, I got done with that live and I was like, I'm just a husk, like I need to hydrate, I need to lay down, and then to start getting those messages. And it's like, on top of what the live being demanding, and then having to field all of this stuff that some stuff that went on, and that live just continues to take that energy because people did this or people said that, what have you. The more I thought about it, I was like, this isn't, I enjoy the company and I enjoy the community. I just don't think that for me, that's how I want to engage it. There's a lot of risk, not only mainly for the guests. I don't know I don't know people's backstories. I'm not going to be able to, or I don't think it should be asked like, oh, you want to have this person on your live or this company. I'm more concerned with like brands and companies. Like, what if there's somebody out there that had a really poor experience with, XYZ, whatever, but I don't know. I haven't asked every single crafter, gotten their blessing to have somebody on a live. And then somebody feels emboldened to hop in the chat and be like, your product sucks, or like, or passive aggressiveness or stuff like that. Like, it even feels silly having to worry about that, but it was proven, I lived it. I lived it, and it's real. It does happen. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, unfortunately. For the most part it is, but I'd say 99.99% of the time it is. And people make mistakes, and that's all very true. And I'm not one to, like, I don't know. I don't hold any grudges. It's still very fresh to me, so I'm still processing a lot of stuff. And honestly, I shouldn't, this negativity it wasn't geared towards me, but I feel responsible because it was on my channel. I'm the one that hit the record button. So I just don't think lives are for me. That's the moral of the story. It's not a space that I have the utmost control over, and that might sound overbearing, but it just worries me. It worries me that that I'm going to ask somebody to join me, and they're going to walk away from that experience like you feeling like they shouldn't have never done it, or they'll never do it again, or I didn't I didn't do right by them, or I put them in a position where they I put them in a position that they shouldn't have to be in, and it just, I don't know. I'm just like, even though I don't think I was super keen on the idea of lives in general. I think this was just kind of confirmation that that's not the place for me. So it's not a bad thing. I think I was moving towards that eventuality, or that conclusion anyway. But this helped to cement that for me. I want to, just like I was saying in that previous clip, I think the idea of premieres is really where I'm going to go, because then I can have someone on as a guest. We can film kind of like Zoom call style. We can film like a little interview. I can even still do giveaways where, you know, you just leave a comment and then I send, you know, whoever, you know, people comment, and then I do random comment picker. So I can kind of do all of the same things that you can do on a live, without, without, for lack of a better word, the risk, I guess. I just can't, and I won't let my channel be a place where people feel anything but welcome and respected. So I think the foolproof way to do that is change up how I present the content. And the cool thing about about premieres is the fact that you still go into chat. Like the chat is live as you're watching it, and then I will be there as well, and ideally the guest will be there. So I'm still there watching the video with you, so we can comment. You can ask me questions in real time. You can ask the guest questions in real time. You can chat amongst yourselves. Like, that element's still very much there, but it gives me the freedom to have all eyes on that chat and make sure that things are moving fluidly, and the conversation is remaining positive, and the conversation is remaining respectful towards everyone. And I know mods do help out with that, and that was a misstep of mine, is I didn't really have any. But still, I think there could be a potential for even a mod to, I don't know. I want to have my eye on things, and that might just be me being a control freak, but I feel like it was shown to me that I have to be able to keep an eye on stuff, because I feel that I do, and I don't think doing live content gives me the ability to do that. Therefore, I'm not gonna do it. So I hope that there wasn't like you know, hundreds of you that were just waiting for the day that I was gonna start doing lives consistently. But we're gonna get those premieres up and running sooner than later, and I already have a few people that have said yes to doing a sit down with Single and Placing, and I'm very excited to share those that series or those pieces of content with you. I'm hoping that they're really engaging. I hope that they really help to introduce some maybe not newer content creators, but maybe, you know, give people the space to kind of share a little bit more about themselves, the freedom to kind of, you know, like I said, just creating a safe space. I'm really looking forward to some small shop owners that I've been chatting with, that I think you'll really be interested and fascinated with learning a little bit more about them and how they got to where they are. I think it'll be really cool, and I think it can happen without being quote unquote live. So it'll be live chat, but the video will be pre-recorded. I think that is, I don't know if that's me just being, I'm an overprotective person, so maybe it is me putting a bubble around my guests, but I don't know. I almost feel that maybe it's needed a little bit more. Keep your guests in a little bubble. So yes, if you're watching this and you're like, I want to hang out with Anthony, you have my guarantee that you will be loved. And there was so much love. There was so many people when we were all done that were very thankful. I'm glad that a lot of people took away some useful information there, and it helped people make decisions on which kits they were gonna get or not get. It was just I didn't realize that Diamond Art Club was going to like launch, like announce some kits on Instagram, some on Facebook, because there are some people that aren't on either of those platforms, or are on one and not the other. So there was a lot of times people were like, I didn't even know that was, that image was announced. And it's like, oh, I'm not on Instagram, or oh, I'm not on Facebook. So I think it was nice that me and Mary put it all together in one place on YouTube. That was not, I mean, we didn't know that was going to be their format, but we ended up really just embracing that and kind of using that how they were launching the kits to our advantage a little bit, because I think it added a lot of value for people to have everything in one place. So let me know if you had a good time. I do want to, I don't know. I do want to do a premiere with Mary again. I don't know. I'm in a weird headspace right now where it's just like, at the end of the day, Anthony, this is all just diamond painting. It's fine. But when you start, putting, asking people to join you, and there's a lot of vulnerability that goes along with that. And so it becomes a little bit more serious when you talk about like making sure that people feel welcome and safe. Then it goes from just being like a fun craft where we're putting drills on a canvas, and for me, I feel, once you tip over into that kind of being a host and having people on, I feel an obligation to make sure that person, anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, feels respected. And I will say, in your own, on your own lives, your own channels and stuff, you might have thoughts and opinions or feel a certain way about something. That's your space. That is the perfect opportunity to speak your mind. That's your perfect opportunity to speak your piece, and no one should really be saying boo about it. And you could also have people in chat with you or what have you that might really agree with you and have similar sentiments, and everyone can just talk about it all day long until they're blue in the face. Like, that's fine. And to be honest, I think the one of the mistakes I've made from a social aspect is saying something. It was on a live that, obviously this person wasn't there. It's not like they were like sitting there as a guest or anything, but everyone just had some things to say, and I put in my 2 cents. And of course I did it in my like sarcastic kind of snarky way, and I immediately just felt my stomach drop. Like, how did I let myself get like looped into this or pulled into this conversation so much that I thought it was appropriate to say something, because that's really not who I am. And I just felt so bad. And it wasn't on YouTube, it was elsewhere. And I think the person that was running that conversation could see that I don't think anybody else there saw it as was as mortified as I was. Like, I don't even think anyone batted an eye, but I was just like, you came on here, Anthony, and said something negative, about somebody else, or alluded to that. I don't know. I just am very sensitive to that stuff because I'm not that person, and I won't be that person. And the person who was kind of leading that ended up deleting that content because I don't think it was because of me freaking out necessarily, because I really did. I was like, I want to retract that came from an ugly place, and let me break this down for you. Here's what that nasty comment meant from like a me being frustrated standpoint. So I had to like really backpedal, but not that this justifies it, but it's not like the person people were chatting about was sitting there on a live stream, reading it. You know what I mean? It doesn't make it okay, but I do think there is a line there. And also, I don't know. I would have behaved differently, I guess. So, and I really battled with even bringing this up. I figured this is maybe something I just need to swallow and move on with. But the more I thought about it, I just really wanted to make sure to tell everyone who, I just want to make sure that people know that should I ever do a live or ask you to join me on my channel, I will work my hardest to make sure that you are treated with kindness and respect, and that you are walking into a very safe space. And I want you to be happy hanging out with me. Yeah, just just tough, just tough. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh, want to, I want my tone and everything I want this to be an opportunity also for new content creators. Just as I've said in the past, like I'm learning as I go too. And so this is just the first time I've experienced something like this. And I want to be able to provide content that not only is for the crafters and the diamond painters and the crafty folks that aren't trying to create content, but also intermix some, like, let's learn how to navigate this space together. If you're someone that's like, I've been toying with the idea of starting a channel, like I was at the beginning of the year or midway through the year, I think watching a video like this and seeing someone being candid about their experience, running into some issues, I think it would have been really helpful for me to just to hear it. And then I think also if someone's gone through some or has experienced something like this on their own channel or seen it happen elsewhere, it can be a little bit hard to reach out to folks sometimes, or it's just hard to navigate. And I'm hoping that just having this candid conversation doesn't offend anybody, doesn't make anybody feel like seen or called out or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I've done my best to, to avoid any names or anything like that. And I don't want this to spark up anything else. If anything, it's me I think I'm going to close the book on lives. And I think I want to kind of reassess how I spend my time in the crafting community as well. I feel like I've kind of slipped into this mode of like, just kind of, I don't know. I almost feel like I have a lot of ideas of what I want to do with this channel, but then I get home or I get done talking about them and it's like, all right, going back to just watching videos again, And I do want to do something really cool with the opportunity that I've been given to connect with so many awesome people. And I do want to see a lot of these ideas come to fruition. I think I just need to change how I invest my time when it comes to like the social aspects of this community. I think I want to spend some more time, maybe, because I want to do events. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start reaching out to a couple folks. I've been hearing more and more about some events that are like for charities and stuff, which is so cool. So I'm like, maybe I need to take a more active role and start tapping people on the shoulder and be like, hey, can I do some admin work for you, or whatever you do for an event? Can I help you out? I need to learn the ropes here because I want to do that eventually. And I keep saying that, but then I feel like I'm not making steps towards it. I want to sit down and put together some really solid interview questions for these premieres that I'm planning on doing. I haven't really fleshed out what the conversation will look like. In my head, I kind of have ideas, but I'm like, I need to just step away from my laptop, step away from my phone, and just workshop some of this stuff and start really doing it in earnest, and just kind of set some other pieces aside for now, you know. So yeah, I don't know. That I have a lot of emotions, and I'm an emotional person, and yeah, I don't know. I guess before I let you go, I'm gonna finish these ABs if it kills me. You know what? These I've noticed though, usually I have a harder time getting them to fit next to each other. These are all a pink AB. Usually with Diamond Art Club, I'm like, like they're like squeaking and like scraping to sit next to each other. These ones here in Cozy Evening are less of a trouble. And Randa's Putty is doing great with these ABs, which is awesome. So, okay. So yeah, I guess moral of the story is be kind to anybody and everyone that you see that's on lives. Leave baggage at the door, and if you do see something that you don't like, it's better to speak up, because somebody might not have noticed. I didn't notice, and I would have hated if I would hate it if a guest walked away feeling like that I was okay with it because I didn't say anything. I'm the furthest from okay with it, and I'm doing my best to be, in turn, treat everyone with respect and civility and kindness. But, I just, it hurt pretty bad. So I don't know. Moral of the story is just be kind. Okay, I gotta let you go. I'm sorry. This isn't an upbeat video. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members. We're gonna get back to it next time, I promise. I'm sorry. And happy placing. Stay happy and just care for one another. All right? It's the holidays. What are we doing? Okay? All right. All right. Love you guys. Bye. 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 Bye.